Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Mrs. Gallagher, and today we're going to learn how to write an equation given a graph. So we need the slope-intercept form when we're writing an equation from a graph. Recall, our slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b, where m stands for the slope, and we're going to use rise over run. So m stands for the slope, it's the rise over the run, and b stands for your y-intercept. So B stands for your y-intercept. And the y-intercept is when x equals 0, and your B is whatever the value is on your y-axis. So again, we're going to use the formula y equals mx plus b. So there are 4 steps when you have to write an equation from a graph. Step 1, you want to identify the y-intercept, your B, of the graph. So step 1, you want to identify the y-intercept, your b value of the graph. Step 2, you're going to find the slope, your m, by using the rise over run method. So step 2, you're going to find the slope, your m, by using the rise over run method. Step 3, you want to identify if the slope is positive or negative. So step 3, you're going to identify if the slope is positive or negative. And the last step, step 4, you want to put it together in slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. So you want to put the m and the b together in a slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. So after you find your b and your m and identify if it's positive or negative, we're going to put it in a slope-intercept form. So now let's do some problems together. Let's write some equations giving some graphs. So direction state, write an equation in slope-intercept form of each line. Now our first step, step 1, is to identify our y-intercept. And the y-intercept is where it hits the y-axis. So our y-intercept, it's right here. So step 1, we want to find our b. So that coordinate is 0, 1. And your intercept is equal to the y. So b is equal to 1. Step 2 is to find your slope, your m, using your rise over run method. So to find the slope, you want to find the coordinate that's hitting the x and the y at the exact same time. So if you notice here on this line, if we look right here, this coordinate is not hitting x and y at the exact same time. It's in between. But now if you look right here, it's hitting x and y at the exact same time. So that's the coordinate you want to use to find your rise over your run. So you want to make your dot, and then you want to identify, well, I'm rising 1, you rose 1, and then you're running 1, 2. Therefore, your rise over run is equal to 1 over 2. Can you simplify it? No, it's already in simplest form. Step 3, you want to identify if it's a positive or negative slope. Well, you are going downhill here. You can make an N with this line. Therefore, it is a negative slope. Therefore, our slope is going to be equal to negative 1/2. Now, our last step is you want to put it all together into our slope-intercept form. Y equals, my m value is negative 1/2 x plus my b value is 1. Therefore, your slope-intercept form is y equals negative 1/2 x plus 1. This is the equation of the line on that graph. Let's do number 2 together. Our first step is to identify our b, and that's where it hits the y-axis. So our b is right there, and that coordinate is 0, negative 1. Therefore, b is equal to negative 1. Step 2 is you want to find your m using your rise over your run. So now let's find our coordinate. Well, if you look right here, it hits the x and y at the exact same time. So let's graph the coordinate, and now let's find our rise over run. We're rising 1, and we are running 1. Therefore, my rise over run is 1 over 1. And 1 over 1, we simplified, equals 1. Step 3, identify what type of slope is it. Is it a positive or negative slope? Well, we're going uphill. Therefore, this is a positive slope. So your answer for your slope is a positive 1. And then our last step, step 4, you want to put it all together. So y equals, my m is 1, x plus my b is negative 1. So minus 1. Now in this y equals 1x plus a negative 1, in this equation we can simplify this. We're going to have to simplify this. So y equals 1x, just write x, and then when we have plus a negative, that means we're subtracting, so it's minus 1. Therefore, your answer is y equals x minus 1. That is the equation of the line. Let's do 2 more examples together. Okay, let's look at number 3. Our first step is to identify our b. So we have our y-axis, and where are we hitting our y-axis? Right here, and that coordinate is 0, 0. Therefore, your b, your y value, is equal to 0. Our second step is to find my m by using your rise over your run. So we want to find the coordinate that hits x and y at the exact same time. So when you're looking at your line, we're hitting right here, that is not hitting x and y at the exact same time. Let's move up. And if you see right here, we are hitting x and y at the exact same time. So let's put a dot right there. And now let's identify what we're rising. We're rising 1, 2. So we up 2. And then we run 1. So our rise over run is 2 over 1, which can be simplified to 2. And then step 3, identify what kind of slope is it. Is it positive or negative? Well, we're going uphill. We're going uphill. Therefore, it is a positive slope. And then step 4, we want to put it all together in y equals mx plus b. So y equals, my m is 2 and it's positive. So we have 2x plus my b is equal to 0. So we're adding 0. So now let's simplify this to y equals 2x. And we don't need the plus 0, so your answer is y equals 2x. So let's do example 4 together now. And we're going to first identify our b, where it hits the y-axis, and our b hits the y-axis right here. And that is 0, negative 2. So my b is equal to negative 2. Our next step is to identify our slope, our m value using the rise over run method. So we want to find our coordinate that hits the x and y at the exact same time. So you can actually just go up and see where you're hitting x and y at the exact same time, and right here is where I'm hitting x and y at the exact same time. So let's make a point. So we want to rise over run. We're rising 1, 2, 3, 4. And we are running 1, 2. Therefore, my rise over run is 4 over 2, which is simplified to 2. Step 3, identify your slope as positive or negative. Well, if we look here, we go downhill. We can make an N with our slope. Therefore, it is a negative slope. So it's a negative slope. Therefore, we want to put a negative symbol in front of the 2. Now let's put it all together in step 4. We have y equals, my slope is negative 2. So negative 2x plus our b is equal to negative 2. And then we want to simplify it. So we have y equals negative 2x. Remember, plus and negative means a minus sign, so we're subtracting 2. And that is your answer. Y equals negative 2x minus 2. So now what I would like you to do is the u-try section. Please write an equation in slope-intercept form of each line for numbers 1 and 2, and we will discuss it in class. Thank you.